If you're jumping between 5 different tools to create content, I want to show you something in Canva that can really make content creation simple for you, because I don't want you losing momentum, and I definitely don't want you to pay for too many subscriptions before you've even started creating anymore. Canva is the perfect place for your simple content calendar to brainstorm ideas, to write and design everything, and to resize it for every platform, all inside one single project. If you're just building your content system, if you want to know how to batch content easily, or you're feeling overwhelmed by the whole thing, this is honestly the setup that I point you to, especially as a beginner. Today, I'm walking you through the whole workflow step by step, from planning with Canva Sheets, ideating on a whiteboard, through creating the actual content, and then resizing everything to repurpose across platforms. I'm Natalia, and I help creators like you turn content into income, freedom, and a brand you're proud of, so let's do this. So the very first thing we're doing is opening a new design in Canva, and we're going to choose a sheet. Now, Canva Sheets is essentially a spreadsheet that lives inside Canva. It works similarly to something like Google Sheets or Excel, but it's inside your design platform, which means you don't have to leave Canva to do your planning. And for anyone who already essentially lives in Canva like myself, that's just super convenient. Best way to use it when you're getting started is as a content calendar. The good news is that Canva already has a content calendar template ready for you, many of them actually, so you don't have to build anything from scratch. You go to the templates tab on the left when your sheet is open, of course, and then search for content calendar. I also have a free one you can download down below and use it right now if you want to head start. I'll link it for you. And inside the content calendar, you want to map out your content for the next week or two, ideally 2 weeks, but even one is a great start, especially when you're not used to batch creating. What you're filling in is things like the content type, so whether it's a reel, a carousel, a newsletter, anything you create in terms of a format, basically. Then the platform it's planned for, the publish date, the title or caption, the content pillar it falls under, and the status, so you can see at a glance what's done, what's in progress, and what still needs creating. By the way, if you don't have your content pillars yet, watch this video right after this one to set them up properly. Now, a quick note, a lot of the people skip the planning stage because it feels unnecessary to them. But I promise you, even 10 minutes of planning ahead saves you hours of staring at a blank screen later. Plus, it helps you be more strategic because you're actively choosing what to talk about and see it all at a glance, like a big picture view. When you sit down to create and you already know exactly what you're making, you just get into the flow of things so much faster. The plan is what makes batching possible, and without it, you're just kind of reacting, and we definitely want to be more proactive in 2026. So take a bit of a time to fill it out, sit down, have your tea. I have my mug in front of me, so make sure you're planning everything very slowly. Even if it feels a bit tough, maybe you're feeling uncertain at first, this is where the second step can really help you out. Once you've got your content mapped out, or again, even before, if you're starting and you're staring at a new sheet and you don't know what to fill in yet, this is where the whiteboard comes in. Here's how you add it. In your page navigation panel at the very bottom, you'll see these pages in here. You'll see a little plus sign with a small arrow next to it. Now, the plus sign would just add another sheet, but that arrow is the key to the whole workflow in the Visual Suite 2.0. This is what it's called in Canva. Now, once you click it, you'll see a panel pop up that lets you add a completely different design type to your project. So instead of adding another sheet page, you can actually add a whiteboard, presentation, a doc, social media post, literally any format that exists in Canva, and it's still the exact same project as before. So you add a whiteboard, and this is where you go kind of a bit free with your ideas. The whiteboard is an infinite zoomable canvas, so you can literally just zoom in and zoom out and drag things around. You can add sticky notes and sections. You can connect ideas with lines. You can really work on fleshing things out before you start designing. What I love to use for it is embedding inspirations. So if you say saved a reel on a platform somewhere that gave you an idea, you can literally just grab it from there to grab the link, paste it right onto the whiteboard. If you have any, screenshots of a post you want to reference or remix, it can go here too. Even your own published content can help if you want to say, emulate the structure from before, or, use the same hook or recreate a success of a previous post that really did well for you. And as a helpful reference, you can also add sticky notes with different title ideas. You can write out, rough content angles, note down any key points you want to make in your carousel. I love it especially for future reference if you're planning for a longer period or maybe, planning a change of direction. Having little notes like that can really help kind of anchor your different thoughts. It's like a mood board, but also like a brain dump too. So it's attached to this project so you can easily just jump back. And when you're stuck while creating, this should hopefully inspire you too. Now, the biggest thing I love about whiteboards, and I know I say love a lot because I really do kind of love this whole workflow. I love how this new, project management in Canva just changed the game. But what I love about whiteboards in Canva is that everything you've come up with is then super easy to grab when you start creating. So very often when I'm like in the flow of things, I plan things out, I take like inspirations, I take notes that later on I often just grab them verbatim because sometimes I just flow into things and I start drafting things a little bit more in details. I often already like pre-design different little elements that I definitely know I want to use. So it's super easy to just copy and paste across your pages. And if you're someone with ADHD like me, or you just tend to have a lot of ideas flying around at once, this approach is so useful. You can literally just get it all out. You can organize it visually and then create from a much clearer place. Oh, and before we move on, don't forget to update the sheet if you had any new ideas or made any changes to the original plan. All right, this is the phase where we bring it all together. Now we're going to start building the actual content still inside the same project because we want you to just keep the momentum going. I always recommend starting with your anchor content for the week, which for a lot of us is either like a YouTube video, maybe a podcast, a newsletter, or a longer form piece of content. And this is the thing that everything else just gets repurposed from. But if you don't have this and say, create for Instagram only, it's absolutely okay. Sometimes like a good content theme for the week can help just guide all of the other content. But you could also have like a carousel that's a more in-depth content, but you can also then repurpose it to different formats. I hope you get my drill, but let's say for this session, we're actually choosing an email, a newsletter. So first, we're going to click the arrow next to the plus sign again and choose doc. Now you've got a Canva doc right inside your project and you can write the full newsletter right there. Now you can use Magic Write to help you with this, or you can just start drafting your own ideas. From here, let me show you what this could look like in practice. So say your newsletter this week is called The Real Reason Your Content Isn't Connecting. You write the intro, maybe you tell a story or share a client insights, you give your 3 key points and you add a clear call to action at the very end. That's done and your anchor content is ready to be then multiplied, and here's how you can do it. Now, if you think about it, from that one newsletter, you already have everything you need for your next piece of content. And as an example, this could be your Instagram carousel. You can turn the 3 key points into the 3 different slides. All you need to do is to add a first slide, so your hook slide, and then the last slide, so your call to action. To create the carousel, again, we're going back to our trusty arrow. So click the arrow next to the plus sign again and add an Instagram portrait post, which is 1080 by 1350 pixels or 1080 by 1440 pixels. You'll find them both under the arrow, or if you search for Instagram like this. Now, another thing that you could do at this stage is to also have any of the templates from the Canva library or any of your branded templates added in place of these, right? So you could just go and search for something that you like, because sometimes you just don't want to design from scratch or you want to rely on your brand templates. By the way, I've shared a lot of like content habits and also Canva habits in 2 of my recent videos, so go watch them, and here I'll also link them down below. You can then literally just highlight the text in your doc, you can copy it and then paste it straight onto your carousel slides. Now, if it's too wordy, and it definitely can be from time to time, go watch this video for some crucial design principles for more engaging content where I talk about this. But if it's too wordy, you can just shorten it to get the gist of it. You're not reinventing the wheel or starting from scratch with every single slide. From the carousel, you can then pull the main message or the hook slide and turn that into like a single image post. Or you can take the key points from your newsletter, write a very short script in another doc, and then use that as the basis for a reel. You can actually record a voiceover directly inside Canva now, which is such a useful little feature, or you can record a talking head video on your phone and then come back to Canva to add your captions and any graphics on top. Canva has karaoke style caption animations too, which make your reels so much more engaging and more importantly, accessible as well. So that's the workflow, right? I'm looking at a doc. Maybe I want to, record a voiceover later on, or I just want to just grab my phone literally right then and there if I have like good light or something. And I just want to like literally talk straight into the camera, just like this, or maybe the back camera, right? You want to just literally just start recording right then and there, grab it and put it back onto Canva through your phone app, or maybe you can airdrop it to your laptop, whichever system you're using. And then from there, you can just start creating that content inside the video file, right? So you can add a video file very easily from the arrow. And that's how easy it is to then start working and incorporating video into your strategy as well. The point is that one piece of content, that newsletter, has now inspired your carousel, a single image post, and a reel, but it could be anything else, right? So say a thread on Threads. Like, I always feel very stupid saying a thread. What do you call them, right? I feel like I need a better phrase. Anyways, everything was created inside that one project without switching apps or browsing for files, because hopefully your Canva is fully organized and you know exactly where your assets are, right? But if not, this one's for you, right? So go watch it next. Now, here's the final step, and it's probably one of my favorite things in terms of this workflow for how the Visual Suite 2.0 operates. Once you've designed something, whether that's a carousel slide or a single post or any graphic, you can resize it to fit a completely different platform in just a few clicks. All you have to do is to right-click any page in your page navigation at the very bottom, click the three dots, and then choose Resize. From here, it's very similar. You can just search for any format again. So say you designed your single image graphic in Instagram portrait size, and you now want to share the same content on Pinterest. So just go to select Pinterest pin from the list, and Canva will create a new page in the same project using the new dimensions and also copy all the things for you. For a more subtle dimension change like this one, going from an Instagram post to a Pinterest pin, it's usually just a very small tweak to the alignment of the text or any elements just to balance it all out. From here, you could also like resize it to a story. So maybe your carousel hook slide, for example, can become an Instagram story teaser in about 2 minutes. The point is, you already did all the creative thinking, so you can reuse it and go wider with your content. You can explore platforms. All of these resized versions live in the same project. So at the end of the content batching session, you've got your sheet with a content plan, your whiteboard with the different ideas, your newsletter in a doc, your carousel, your single image post, your story assets, and any interest pins all in one place. So that's your whole complete batching session. You can scroll through the whole project and see the full week of content at a glance, so you know what's done, you know what's missing. It's super easy to leave it and get back into it to pick it up. And also, it's now very easy to grab and publish or schedule all that content. Apart from this, Canva also has many different connections. So for example, you could easily create an email as not a Canva doc, but actually as an all full Canva email. So this is a new doc type that we've had. I've covered this in this video, but you can literally create it. And then if you say use MailChimp, you can literally send the whole thing into your MailChimp account without having to switch between apps. So you go to share, then you go to more, search for MailChimp, and you will be able to send it there. Apart from this, there's a great connection with LinkedIn as well. So if you publish on LinkedIn, this is another thing that you can do. So again, the process is very simple. You just go to share, you then choose the LinkedIn ads platform. So you go to more and search for LinkedIn. You've got LinkedIn and LinkedIn ads as well, but you just have to connect your LinkedIn account. And from there, you will be able to choose the page that you want to publish. And you can literally just draft your caption and send it to the platform without leaving Canva. I absolutely love it. Now, if you're at a stage where content is very chaotic, this is a small system that you can manage in a very, very simple way. So many people say you have to build systems. I'm definitely one of those people. And it's very easy to say, but when the solution is just massive and it feels super complicated, chances are you're not going to follow, right? So I'm sharing this very simple one for beginners in hopes that it removes so much of the friction for you that you can finally try being consistent. And if you want to see how Canva Sheets works in even more depth, or maybe you want to see more creative content workflows and how I handle all my content, I have a full tutorial for both of these right up here. Give this video a like if it helped you, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments what your current process looks like. I read everything and I genuinely love seeing how you work. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.